I need help says, oh damn, in almost every matchup, I don't really do a build order. It's always just a reaction to what the opponent does. How am I able to actually act and not only react? We choose a build order and do it. Or like what, you know, you gotta focus on the details, my man. Oh damn. So it's easy to get like an emotional kind of assessment, go, oh, but I feel like I need to react, you know. So a build order is the trunk of a tree. I've used this metaphor many times. Big, beautiful trunk. The trunk always stays the same, but depending on where the light shines in the forest, the leaves and the branches will grow out in that direction to catch the sunlight. All right? You catching that sunlight, you growing in that direction, these are the branches off your build that react to what your opponent does. The trunk stays the same for the most part. Very occasionally, you'll be in a super weird game where your opponent does something super weird. Maybe you're a tree trapped in a rainforest, or you're on the side of a cliff with very little sunlight because the sun's mostly blocked. So you've got to do this, really change the main trunk of your tree and do something drastically different. Normally, no. 90% of the time, 95% of the time, if you've got a solid trunk to your tree, all you need to change is a few branches off to catch that sunlight. So you choose a build, you get good at it, that gives you the trunk of a tree. Now, a lot of people get confused here because they say, but I died to a rush. My build doesn't stop that rush. Well, that's because you're just a trunk. You need to actually grow branches off that build. Otherwise, you're not actually good at that build order. A build order is the foundation. It's like the basis of the play. You've got to develop upon that as you learn and as you start to actually react to all the things that go on in the game. So often when I start with a new build, what I do is I basically grind a build in custom games, and it's like the most standard version of it, assuming it's macro. And it's like, I do this, so that I know the order of each next step, right? But then when I take it on ladder, I'm inevitably going to die to things, and I'm going to react in the way that I intuitively think is right. And it's almost always going to be wrong the first few times I encounter a certain thing, and I go, and I need to load up the replay and say, okay, when I see this, I need to branch off in this direction. Because I did this thing, didn't work, I think I actually need to do, and I'll write a little list, what I call a reaction list, and that essentially is one little branch. And once I've dealt with what I need to react to, maybe I need to block Banshees as Protoss. So I need to squeeze an earlier Robo and Observers into my build, or a Cannon in each mineral line for detection. So I branch off, and then once I've branched off, I work my way back to the trunk of the build, and I continue that same thing I've practiced so many times before. So this gives you a lot of consistency in your play, and it allows you to just do your shit efficiently and well. The hard thing that a lot of people have is they get really caught up in reacting, but they're always reacting differently, because without even realizing it consciously, every game they're doing different players, different builds, even with no reason. There's no logic behind their reactions, right? Because they just by chance, one game they take, because they don't even know when they take their gas. So they just take their gas at random times. It results in their whole build order being different. Their buildings go down at different times. Their upgrades come down at different times. If you're reacting differently every game, if you're playing a different tree every game, you have no familiarity with your own play. Because of that, how are you possibly going to react to the opponent properly if you don't even know what you're reacting from? So it's kind of like understand your own play and your own goals first, and then learn the reactions to your opponent off of what you want to achieve. That's the structure of kind of StarCraft learning in a nutshell. So I think hopefully that explains to some of you who didn't realize that's really how you should be approaching it and how you should be thinking about it.